Before the age of 18, I moved 5 times between 3 different countries on 3 different continents because of my mom's job. To me at the time, it seemed like the biggest deal in the world. With every move, I had to make new friends as I was leaving behind my old friends, my school, and my family, and I had to start over in a new place. Were others out there with similar experiences as mine as affected as I was?
My dad told us we had to move for my senior year, and I was like, no. Like, Daddy, can't you do anything? And I would go to bed thinking, oh, maybe it will change, maybe it will change. Like, you never know. No, we have to leave. And that was so bad. What are you doing to me? I hate you. I've never said I hate you to a parent. It's like, Daddy, you're ruining my life.
Okay, so it's not just me. I decided to do some research on the subject and found out that in the 1960s, sociologist Ruth Hill Useem coined the term third culture kid. In 2001, sociologist David C. Pollock wrote a book about it.
A third culture kid is a person who has spent a significant part of his or her developmental years outside the parent's culture. The TCK frequently builds relationships to all of the cultures while not having full ownership in any.
To most people, the question, where are you from, is a pretty simple one. To me, I always have to think about it. I grew up in Brazil, the United States, and Sweden. To third culture kids, the question, where are you from, can be a tough question.
I am from, that's the question. I wish I knew, kind of. Whenever someone asks me that, it's always annoying because I answer one thing and then I answer another thing and then I jumble up and then they're like, okay, that doesn't make any sense. I was born in Geneva, Switzerland. After that, we moved to Saudi Arabia and then Djibouti.
I am from Mexico. I was 7 years old. I first moved to California after 6 months moving to North Carolina.
Then after that, we moved to Yemen, and then we moved to the States.
You could say that I'm American, but at the same time, like, all my formative mental structures are all done.
This time we went back to Switzerland, and then we had to move again, back to the States.
I'm originally from Cincinnati, Ohio. When I was 16 years old, my mom decided that she wanted to move to the Grand Cayman Islands.
In the middle of the year, we moved to Jordan. No, Jordan, yeah. And senior year, I moved to Abu Dhabi. And that's where I graduated. And now I'm back in the States.
Anticipation before a move was one of the toughest parts. I never wanted to go. The older I got, the stronger connections I formed in each place, the more difficult each move became. Then there are issues around relationships and identity as well.
I really don't think I knew what was going on when we were moving to the United States. I realized that there were a lot of changes happening. I knew that we were coming to visit my dad. I don't know if I thought that we were moving permanently. I think that it wasn't clear in my mind. I know that everything was very fast. All of a sudden my mom sold all of our belongings.
When I was younger, it was fine. My dad, my mom, and my brother were what I needed. We all just needed ourselves. And then I got older, and each time leaving friends and leaving a school and leaving a house especially was a little hard, especially the house when I'm younger. Because my room, my everything.
I didn't want to go at all. I was really upset when I first moved, and I had a lot of angst towards my mom because I felt like I was taken out of my school that I had grown up and been in since I was like 10 years old. You know, all my best friends. When you're a teenager, your friends are like everything. You know, one thing changes and, you know, your world comes crashing down.
I don't have a strong attachment to a place. Like, I'm not strongly American or strongly Tunisian.
When I see myself as a foreigner here in America, you know, although you could say that, yeah, I've been through the whole American system, I understand it. I've always been, like, it's forced me to be a little more of an outsider. I can look at things as opposed to, you know, being engaged without questions. You'll talk to a lot of foreigners, and you'll see that each one of them will have left some kind of a locked-in identity behind, and in America they can do whatever they want.
I don't want to have an identity. I don't want to choose one or another or bring the two together. Most of my life has been lived in other countries that are not my own.
Through this unconventional lifestyle, it's no wonder I often felt the odd one out. Despite the similarities, these experiences affected everyone differently.
If I can feel a certain disconnect with society in general, maybe I wouldn't have felt that in the Holland.
Life stops for you, but life continues for everyone else. And that I hated. I go to each of the countries that I'm from, and I'm the foreigner. I'm not American. I come here, people tell me, Lena, you have an accent. Really? I go back to home and everyone says I have an American accent, so strong.
As a gay man, I had to go back in the closet because there, homosexuality is literally against the law. So you could be arrested. I couldn't be open with my sexuality, and that was kind of a weird thing too. It made me even more angry that felt like I couldn't be who I was and be honest with people.
As far as why my mom stayed in the United States, I really don't understand, because all of our family is back in Mexico. When my parents divorced, my dad didn't provide the financial support that my mom needed. But my mom remained here by herself, a single mother of 3, not really knowing the culture. So when I think of that, I just think I definitely would have gone back to Mexico. I would have gone back to my family, to the culture that I know, to a place that values my education, versus staying here, struggling all the time. My mom is definitely the most independent and strong woman that I know.
Now as adults, looking back on their lives, how do they feel about their experiences?
I mean, I think it fundamentally is, you know, it makes a mark. Is it as clear as day? Do you see labels in your life that says, oh, this is different? I'm neither Dutch nor American, so I'm a little like, you know, pan-human.
My standard of living is much better here than it would be in Mexico. And sometimes I think that I need to be grateful for that, but it's easy to forget when I feel like I have so many limitations.
I feel like, honestly, it kind of built my confidence as a person, because I'd always been in kind of a comfort zone of, I had a lot of friends at my original high school. I was doing what I wanted to do. It was like a performing arts school, and I loved doing all this, like singing, acting, dancing, all that kind of stuff, being in shows. I felt like I had a place where I fit in. And then when I moved there, I took that time, and that's when I started writing, which turned into my career, you know, when I started writing music to express myself.
Now I'm happy I went through that. I get to go back to a different country, like, and have a place to stay. You have friends everywhere. Like, moving always has made me meet so many people, and I love it. Like, that's the best. And I would not change that for the world.
I wouldn't know my life any other way.
Just say I love you, baby.